My name is Jaime Herrera. I am the Director of Service for Imperial Range. Today we're going to be talking about the manual fryer that we have here. One of the things about this unit here is that what is very important to know and understand is that back here you have what we call the flue. Okay? This is where your unit ventilates, okay, or it vents. Now, it is very important that you once in a while check back here, because if you have a shelf, you may get something that drops down inside. Okay? That's going to give you problems where the unit is going to be shutting off quicker, or your temperatures aren't going to be very accurate. So it's very important to make sure that this is always open and clear. Okay? That's one of the tips that we've seen, or one of the things that we've noticed in the past, where we found pots and pans in there, all kinds of debris inside, and that definitely makes a huge noticeable problem for the customer when something is lodged inside. The other thing that's really important is that when you're changing out your oil, it is very important that first and foremost, if you're going to begin to change your oil, it's always very important to make sure that your unit is off. You do not want the unit on at all. So you need to open up your bottom, and you need to make sure you have it on the off, so that way there's nothing happening, no heat or anything of that nature. Then what you want to do, of course, you remove your tray once your oil is out, and I'll show you that in a minute. You will notice inside of here that once it's drained, you will have a high limit and a thermostat tube back here. What happens a lot of times is this. You go in to clean it and you start scrubbing really hard, and you may look away, and as you're doing that, you pull and you break the capillaries. Then all of a sudden, when you're done exchanging out the oil, the unit is not going to work because it's a safety. It's not going to allow you to work. So it's important that when you're cleaning, make sure that you take caution when you're going around those two components down here. Now, when you empty out your oil, it's very important that you make sure that before you even begin the process, again, can't say it enough, safety always. Make sure that it's in the off position, okay? You also want to make sure that your valve is completely closed, right? Because you do have hot oil inside of it. Traditionally, what we do is we recommend at least 10 minutes to allow the oil to cool down a little bit or to stabilize. Once that's done, then again, it's on the off position. Then you can go ahead and put your bucket or whatever it is you're going to utilize in order to dump your oil, and go ahead and open up your valve slowly, okay? You want to do it slowly because you don't know if pressure is being built in there. So open it up slowly and let it come out, okay? It's a process that takes caution and safety. Again, we can't emphasize that enough. Make sure that once you're done, you completely close it. Even tap it a little bit just to make sure that the ball caulking side here is already nice and closed, okay? So once that's happened, you've closed it up, everything's fine. What we recommend is putting in just maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 2 or 3 cups of oil back inside with being empty, so you can get any of the residual content that's left, like the crumbs or anything of that nature. Then again, open it back up, get that stuff out, and this is your time to wipe it down, clean it more, or whatever it is that you need to do. We recommend that you wear gloves because it is still going to be very hot, okay? So again, caution. Once that is done, then you're ready to refill your unit. Make sure you have a cloth next to you just in case something spills. Go ahead and pour it back in. Now, again, double check just to make sure that your valve is still closed. Now, one of the things that's very important to understand is that we're going to relight it, right? If our pilot is out, we're going to have to relight it. This is the type of lighter that we would suggest, or even one of the long, matches, big stick ones, because what happens is that what we've seen is that in the kitchen, we always have those nice big butane torches, and we have the lighters that it's a small little torch. Well, what happens is that inside of here, you have what we call a thermocouple. That's what creates or lets the pilot stay on. If you implement a lot of heat to that thermocouple, you will damage it, okay? And therefore, you will call or ask for a serviceman and you'll ask them, my pilot will not stay on, right? So a lot of times it's that. So make sure that you utilize the right equipment to light the right type of pilot with, okay? Very important. Second of all, what you have down here is you have a pilot assembly that's kind of got two arms like this, right? The flames shoot out from both sides, okay? Sometimes, a lot of times what happens is that you may get some debris inside and it's not just shooting one way. Therefore, your burners are not going to light symmetrically or in alignment with each other. So make sure that always make sure that that pilot, the flames are coming out of both sides. You also want to make sure, and we've seen this quite a bit, where, you know, you never know, little spiders or whatever the case may be crawl in. These are your pilot assemblies. They will get in there and they'll burrow in there and one of them won't light. It's very noticeable. Make sure you have a little handy little brush and just wipe around the edges of it just to make sure it's nice and clear. All the flames should be uniform, pushing forward. If they're not pushing forward, you have an obstruction. Again, that would be your flue, okay? Hope this information helps you. Thank you so much for your time, and stay tuned and we will have more how-to videos.